everybody, welcome back to what seems like a long time in between shows, this episode of Mint Out of the Box. I'm your host, the godfather of toys at J-Bomb. Sorry I have been away for so long. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I've had a show. But a lot of things went down. Aside from Christmas, I was sick, had a COVID scare, the family had a COVID scare. I traveled to Tennessee, had the holiday, and producer Steph got sick. So every day we've said, hey, we got up going, hey, we're going to do a show today. And then something seemed to have happened. But with that being said, I'm back. We have a tremendous Build-A-Figure episode to wrap up the holidays. As I film this, we're a couple days away from the new year. I will do my best to get an episode out for the New Year's Eve spectacular. But aside from that, I'd like to bring on the lovely one, my other half, my wife, the nurse. Producer Steph, I know you are a little bit congested and not feeling the best, but you're trooping through this. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm here.
How was your holiday season, besides everybody being sick?
You know, it was quick, but it was good. I feel like it's flying by still.
Yes, and
jet lag didn't help.
Yeah, we had a tremendous stayover. As you can see, you know, the weather's been crazy and commuting has been bad for pretty much everybody out there. But we kind of beat the big cold snap, but we had a huge layover. But that being said, I'd like to share with you guys, I've talked to you guys before about how I eventually going to be relocating this madness all to Tennessee at some point. We went out to Tennessee and got to spend some quality time with my in-laws. So I'm going to try to run them all down. There's Callie, KK, Carson, Carter, Charlie the little one.
And you look like you're stuck already.
Cherie.
And Chloe.
Chaos the dog. Buddy the dog. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, Anthony, my sister-in-law, Chrissy, my brother-in-law, Steven.
Good job.
And that's everybody. And we're going to show you some clips and some pictures of some stuff that we did out in Tennessee. So you guys take a look at that real quick. So that was my brief trip to Tennessee. Thank you to all the kids out there. I had a great time. Thank you guys for all the kids subscribing. And if you kids, hey, I know you know more than just us. Spread that crap around. Get your friends to subscribe too, man. This is the push to 300. We're at 230 something. Let's get to 300 this year. You guys all help me out. So back to the lecture at hand. We are back with a monumental Build-A-Figure. I was planning before I got sick to do the Rick Rude, but as I was recovering, I built Rick Rude. But luckily, I went out one day and found the Build-A-Figures for this amazing Doc Hendrix. Doc Hendrix, of course, is Michael P.S. Hayes with his stupid gimmick name they gave him in the 90s when they brought him to WWF and he was an announcer. But as crappy as that time in wrestling was, it's 1,000 times better than the wrestling is these days. And I collect all the classic stuff. So with that, we are going to try to build Doc Hendrix.
Try. We're going to a commercial break.
Let's try the head.
Well, you always said one day.
Well, looks like I got the head on.
Do ya?
I don't know. We got one arm. We got two arms. He has multiple hands. I didn't bring him out here.
Are you kidding me?
So I got the, brother. I'm going to try to get these. I remember there was a trick when I did the Vince McMahon. Oh, there it is. It takes just being smarter than the figure to get it to work. And bam. Doc Hendrix in the house. With Rick Rude.
Now, with these Build-A-Figures, how detailed are they compared to like one of their standard figures, one of their elite figures?
They're actually not much different. It just seems like they do really obscure figures that are not going to sell. I mean, I'm really kicking myself in the butt because there was a time where I really wasn't collecting much wrestling stuff at all. And they did some really cool Build-A-Figure. They did a J.J. Dillon that I'd love to have for my Four Horsemen collection. I'll probably get it someday, but it's probably going to cost me a pretty penny. They seemed to, like I said, we did the Paul Ellering earlier this year. Doc Hendrix, super obscure. I mean, they released him as Michael Hayes at some point, but even that.
Because I noticed a theme.
What?
Everybody's dressed in suits.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, the Vince McMahon was in a suit.
Yeah.
And then I guess another set that's hitting the shelves right now is the Mean Gene Build-A-Figure. And it's funny, speaking of Vince McMahon, when I was out in Tennessee, I was at one of their, I think I went to an Ollie's, one of those stores I've heard about for years. And I went in there and they had the Stone Cold and AJ Styles and the McMahon Build-A-Figure from WrestleMania that I got over a year ago now. But, yeah, you know, I like it because I don't like the fact that it makes you buy figures that you may not really want. I mean, like in this line, all I wanted was the Vader. And I got the Vader, but they just released the Vader earlier this year. But he had the removable mask and the head where you put the full mask on, and basic elite. But I guess this is the way they can, the Build-A-Figure part is a way they could still justify the price point because you're paying as much for an elite regular as this. And if you compare the two Vaders, there's no comparison. The other Vader was way more detailed. You can do a lot more with it. But I've always been a big fan of Vader. His run in WWE was not very spectacular, but I was a big fan with his stuff in Japan and his early WCW stuff. And then when he became the big heel in WCW, I really liked it. Massive athlete, passed away way too soon. But it's cool that they still show the love and respect for him, in figure form at least, and we can keep that love going that way. Next thing we got here is the McFarlane. Shocking, me doing McFarlane Build-A-Figure something.
Oh, Lord.
Because I've done pretty much every Build-A-Figure McFarlane they have. This one is Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Solomon Grundy, this is part of the, let me see, the Batman Arkham City. I believe it's a video game. I'm not sure. You can yell. You're part of the show.
I'm not yelling.
You can tell me. Move them?
Move those.
That's all you gotta say. You're the producer of the show and your talent.
I'd like to see you just know what I mean.
Well, I don't know what that meant. I thought you want to see him fight Batman and Batman Who Laughs. The characters kind of look like the Gotham and Gaslight type style. It's a vintage looking, more turn of the century type look, as you can see. If you've seen the lines, they're just sitting here. There's a Ra's al Ghul that looks kind of like Wolverine, and then you got Catwoman that's got the aviator goggles, and then the Penguin that's right there. It looks like a Jack the Ripper type setting, that kind of era. But they're cool looking figures. I like them. I was going to open them all up anyway. I broke my rule and opened up my Catwoman before getting my second one. But that's the kind of dedication I had to you guys. I felt you guys deserved it for having to wait this long for another show. But without further ado, Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy is a character that, I know who he is. I know of him. Head snapped on pretty easy. Um, most of the people my age got, if you weren't a hardcore comic nerd, I was. But the general public that weren't super into comics but were into Saturday morning cartoons, Solomon Grundy was one of the people on what is arguably the best version of the Super Friends show, the Super Friends versus the Legion of Doom, Challenge of the Super Friends. Solomon Grundy could be shown at the beginning of the opening montage, throwing a big boulder and Superman punching it. So
specific. Which was something my sister was cracking up about, is how you were telling her what toy you got for what year and why and what was going on and what was in the theater. And we can't even remember what we did yesterday.
Well,
besides fall asleep.
As you know, you can take a look around here and see that I'm into toys. I mean, that's why I did the show.
But a lot of people are into a lot of things when they're kids. Like, I loved Polly Pocket. And I am pretty sure I got some throughout the years, but I don't know when. I don't know how old I was. I could probably recognize which one was my favorite.
Where are they now?
Well, ask my mom.
You don't need to ask my mom because all my stuff's right here. I remember those things because my family, my dad is a lot older and very military, very old school. And I got toys at birthday and Christmas.
So did I, though.
And luckily for me, I was very enterprising and did a lot of trading.
Is that what we're calling it?
A lot of other stuff with a lot of my friends. So I was always acquiring stuff, and then if I earned money, I would buy toys and stuff. And so I can remember each Christmas because I got the stuff, and it was a big deal because that's pretty much all I got all year. I mean, my mom didn't take me to a Toys R Us until I was in high school. Like, the only time I'd gone to Toys R Us was with the Belt Doctor on his birthday one year. His mom took him, and I remember freaking out because we saw the blue LJN ring. So it was kind of a big deal. So I remember all those things. And like I said, the hobby is stuck all these years. I still have a lot of those toys. So
I know, I think that one's older than me.
No, it's older than me. So, throw on his vest.
He'd fit in well in Tennessee. He's so vested.
Yes, I got a lot of shit because I wore a vest. I wore it with a short sleeve shirt before we left. But when we went to Tennessee, I made sure to throw a long sleeve shirt.
And how did that happen?
How did what happen?
How did you get long sleeve shirts in your bag?
I don't know. How did I?
I packed it.
Oh, you're my wife. Of course you packed my bag. Would you leave that up to me? I'd be there shirtless with just the vest on. And Tennessee probably wouldn't be cool with that. So, sorry. I did a crazy arm workout on Saturday with one of my gym buddies, Julio, and it killed me. So I'm still recovering. I can't get it in. So
Solomon One-Armed Grundy.
That's how he looks. Now he's Jim Abbott. So that's how it looks. Woohoo! Fight the power. But I will do my best when we cut the show to get it all together. Producer Steph will do what she always does, her magic with the camera. It's like, hey, look, he's trying to grab producer Steph's ass. Come here. So I'll get pictures of it all put together, but that's how.
Oh yeah.
I'll get the rubber bands. But that's this week's super mega Build-A-Figure episode. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't have my show, but I had a lot going on. I will be back weekly from now on as we go into this is our third year. We'll be going into our third year. Part of 3 years.
Yes.
This year, last year, and then part of this year will be the actual on the calendar 3 years. It's not the 3-year anniversary yet, but it's part of 3 years. Leave me alone, woman.
I don't feel good.
So we look forward to that, and our 2-year anniversary episode will be coming up in February.
Woohoo!
So I'm going to try to do something special for that anniversary. I'm going to try, probably won't. But I'm going to try to get a special guest on for that episode.
Ooh.
Even if I got to try a new setup and do it Skype, I'm going to try to get somebody on. So with that said, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. If you look at my Instagram, you saw that producer Steph went to Ringside Collectibles and got me a lot of cool figures that I didn't have because they're on sale. And I've been finding a bunch of stuff at GameStop and everywhere, so the figure collecting has been going. So that's it from this week's episode of Mint Out of the Box. Have a fantastic week. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. See you next week.